So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that I see golfers make every day. Now the good news is, as I talk through the 5 mistakes, there's every chance that you actually don't make all 5 of them. Maybe just 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, or you might be the full house. But I'm going to run through them, what they are, then I'm going to talk about why you make those mistakes, and most importantly, I'm going to show you how to make your best swings, to hit the best shots, not just occasionally, but far more consistently, and really take your game to the next level. But just before we get into the main part of the video, if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If while you're watching today's video, you're enjoying the content, you don't currently subscribe, I'd love it if you just took a second, hit the button below, ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. But for now, let's find out what the 5 biggest mistakes are that all golfers make. Right, so just before we get into the 5 mistakes, we all have those, hopefully games, days, but maybe just the odd shot where we get over the golf ball and the swing feels fantastic. We get that lovely little shot where the ball goes where we want at a good distance, and golf feels amazingly easy. Then, far too often for golfers, they have those days where they say, do you know what, my practice swing feels superb. And when I'm hitting shots, I miss it. I really get poor contact, and we can see there, the ball just goes nowhere. And what's causing that? So let's get into the 5 biggest mistakes I see golfers make. So the first mistake I see golfers make is they actually try and hit the golf ball. Now I know a lot of golfers will hear, and I get comments about it, how a really good golf swing kind of looks like you just swing and the ball just gets collected at the bottom of the swing. And I would absolutely agree with that. And what should make golf incredibly simple is that that golf ball's stationary, so we get to make our stance where we are to hopefully get that club passing back through the bottom of the swing and collecting the golf ball. But far too often, golfers kind of get really focused on just hitting it. And even though we can get some decent results out of that, you could see the swing kind of worked, wasn't especially stylish, well, I'm not too bothered about that, but just didn't feel good and didn't feel like a golf swing that I would want to make. So the first issue is trying to hit the golf ball. The second issue I see, a mistake, is golfers trying to get the ball in the air. So something you'll see with an awful lot of golfers is as they go to hit their shots, as they start down, all that weight stays on the back foot, and they either catch the ground behind the ball, or they bottom out early, the club travels up, and they simply top it. We see lots of that one just not really getting in the air, and just generally very, very poor strike. And I would probably say golfers newer to the game, or higher handicappers, I see that more often than the better player. So then, like I said, second mistake is trying to get the ball in the air. The third mistake is trying to make the ball go straight. Now, I know this sounds an odd one, because surely the simplest way of getting that golf ball from here to the target is a straight line. But the huge issue is most golfers, where they get the club back at impact, they think the club's pointing straight, when it's not in fact. So what they'll tend to do, if I go face on with the camera, is from here, as they swing down, they tend to steer the club face, thinking that they're keeping it looking at the target as long as possible, and that club face ends up predominantly pointing over to the right-hand side, and that's where we get that slice. So the third mistake is trying to hit the ball straight. The fourth mistake, and I might fall into this one from time to time, is trying to hit the ball further. So they stand there with that beautiful, effortless practice swing, and then they get into the golf ball. Everything's moving, and we can hit some good shots, and the ball will go well. But then the challenge is that tension in there. Sometimes the swing gets a bit shorter, we miss-hit it. So that was the fourth mistake. And the fifth and final mistake is trying really hard to strike the ball perfectly every time. Now, if I'm being honest, strike is a skill, but I think sometimes for golfers, they're so obsessed with strike that they kind of have no influence on where the golf ball goes anyway. And golfers will stand there and go, okay, out the middle of the club. Oh, that felt lovely. But the ball's so far left, and even there you could see the strike was a little bit out of the heel. So, trying to hit the ball is the first mistake. Trying to make the ball go in the air is the second mistake. Trying to make the ball go straight is the third mistake. Try to hit the ball further is the fourth mistake, and try to strike the ball correctly is the fifth mistake. Now, you'll notice there's a theme there though, isn't there? That they all relate to the golf ball. Now, the golf ball, in my opinion, and golfers' ability to focus on the golf ball is the biggest issue in the golf swing. So when we make practice swings, we're 100% focused on what we're doing, whatever your swing thought is. So for example, if I said now, my swing thought is once I get to the top of my backswing is just to push down into my left foot as hard as I can. So in the practice swing, I've done that really, really well. But then when golfers go to the ball, 1 or up to 5 of those things become their focus. Am I going to hit it? Am I going to make it go in the air? Am I going to make it go straight? Am I going to make it go further or a certain distance? Or am I going to hit it properly? Now, my argument as a coach is if you make your best movement and you're working on the right thing, ideally you'll get all 5 of those. But if you don't get all 5, I think you'll get enough that it'll be a good shot. So then for me, if that's my swing thought, I'm going to stand up over the golf ball. Even though I'm kind of looking at the ball, I'm focusing on what I'm doing. And I'm going to set up, really focus. Felt I did my end of the bargain really well there. And we can see that shot happened to be that I made contact with the ball went in the air. I wasn't trying to make it go straight, but it was fairly straight. It went a decent distance, and I struck it fairly near the middle of the club face. Now, I do appreciate if one or a couple of those things are really letting you down, you need to change it. But the way you change it is by changing the delivery of your club or your swing, and the more focused you are on your movement, then the better the golf swing, the ball gets in the way, and the better the shot. But all 5 of those things are from golfers really worrying about the golf ball, and that's why that golf swing looks so different from when you go practice swing to actual swing. So now, hopefully for me, you'll see that the practice swing and the actual swing look incredibly similar. And even though that one's gone a little bit left, the better the movement, the better the shot. So if you can eliminate all 5 of those mistakes just simply by focusing more on what you're doing. So hopefully from those 5 mistakes that I've spoken about, you've already commented below and let me know which 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of those that you normally fall into. But you can see the damage that golf ball does to your performance. And like I said, and you might disagree with me on this, but if you can focus as much as possible on what you're doing, the fact that that golf ball's static and stationary and that you build your stance around that golf ball, the golf ball should get in the way, should be collected, and ideally, all 5 of those mistakes will be eliminated. Now, what you might find is that the more you focus on what you're doing, just one of those mistakes comes up. Well then, either with some guidance from your coach, one of these YouTube videos, or possibly help from a friend or even yourself, Really focus on what you need to change that one thing that's not happening. But then get consistent, really focus on what you do, and the better you swing the club, no big surprise, the better the results will be. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you enjoyed today's video and you don't currently subscribe, I'd love it if you hit the button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.